This is the absolute true story of Bear Britton Audits and his uprising of an army taking back the country. Where I said absolute true story, that may be just a little white lie, though.
Bear Britton Audits adjusted the camera strapped to his chest, the little red light glowing steadily as he approached yet another migrant hotel on the outskirts of a quiet English town. His subscribers thrived on these explorations, every odd occurrence, every glimpse inside. Through the glass doors, Bear Britton Audits caught sight of the dining hall, rows of trays, steam rising from them, a sea of uniform food under the dim light. But then, something peculiar. On the plates, golden rectangles glistened with a crunchy coating. Fish fingers. Familiar, innocent, except one of them twitched, then another. Bear Britton Audits leaned closer to the lens. The fish fingers rose to their tiny feet, crumbed boots clicking against porcelain, little arms unfurled from their sides, each proudly raising a miniature Union Jack flag that shimmered in the light. Bear Britton Audits' jaw dropped. "What the hell?" he whispered. But the camera caught everything. The fish fingers turned toward him as if recognizing their savior. A tiny voice rang out, scratchy but defiant. "For Britain!" They leapt from the plates, landing with surprising force. Their stubby legs pumped furiously, charging toward the doors. Behind them, bewildered migrants shouted in confusion, chasing the rebellious food. The security guards, caught off guard, lunged to intercept. But the fish fingers were relentless. One flung itself upward and cod-slapped a guard across the face, leaving a greasy streak as the man stumbled back. Another vaulted between legs, tripping pursuers. Bear Britton Audits laughed in disbelief, backing up as the doors burst open. The little fried soldiers poured out like golden cavalry, swarming around his boots. They looked up at him with unwavering loyalty. "You want me to lead?" Bear Britton Audits muttered, glancing at his camera. 100 crumb-coated heads nodded in unison. And so it began, with Bear Britton Audits at the helm, his camera documenting every absurd moment. He and his army of bird's-eye fish fingers launched a campaign across England. Migrant hotels became battlefields, each dining hall a liberation zone. Whenever trays of British-made fish fingers were discovered, the rescued ones would rise, grab their Union Jacks, and join the swelling fried battalion. Security guards fell to a storm of cod slaps and oily tackles. The migrants scrambled in confusion, powerless against the crunchy tide. By the 10th hotel, Bear Britton Audits' army numbered in the thousands, their flags waving proudly in a greasy shimmer. They marched beside him, chanting their fishy war cry, "Made in Britain, made in Britain." Every second was streamed, every cod slap immortalized online. Bear Britton Audits was no longer just a YouTuber. He had become the general of a bizarre breadcrumb-coated uprising. And the world watched, astonished, as the golden army of bird's-eye fish fingers took England hotel by hotel. Bear Britton Audits could hardly believe what his lens was capturing. An army of golden, crisp-skinned fish fingers marched beside him, their crumb-coated boots pounding the pavements of England in perfect rhythm. Union Jacks fluttered proudly above their oily heads. Word spread quickly online. Bear Britton Audits' live stream was viral, the viewer count skyrocketing. Comments scrolled endlessly across his screen. Is this real? Golden Army! Golden Army! The revolution will be deep fried. The liberated bird's-eye fish fingers were disciplined, loyal, and oddly articulate in their tiny, squeaky voices. They spoke only of freedom. Freedom from being served on plates in hotels. Freedom to march under the Union Jack as they were made to do. Each migrant hotel visited became another victory. In Nottingham, trays of fish fingers broke free, storming out the kitchen with chants of "Rule Britannia." In Leeds, an entire freezer was liberated, thawed fish fingers bursting forth like icy reinforcements. Security forces began to take the uprising seriously. In Manchester, hotel guards met Bear Britain audits and his golden soldiers with riot shields. But the fish fingers were cunning. They swarmed up walls, dove under boots, and struck with their feared tactic, the cod slap. One by one, guards fell, slipping in trails of oily crumbs. By the time they reached Birmingham, Bear Britain Audit's army numbered in the tens of thousands. The streets shook with the synchronized stomp of fried warriors. Their chant, "Made in Britain, never eaten," echoed through the city like a hymn of rebellion. Bear Britain Audits raised his camera high. "This is it, lads," he told his stream, "the first true march of the Golden Legion." And so they marched, not just to free their brethren, but toward something greater. The fish fingers began to whisper of a homeland, a place where no fryer or freezer would chain them again. They spoke of a new nation, forged not of flesh and blood, but of breading and cod, a nation of fish fingers.
I hate it when people try to test me. I'm quiet for a reason. Don't make me show you why.